So yeah, that's the diagram I just carved out, and it's just a kind of rough description of how Bootstrap does the stuff. So the main takeaway or something like that is more like Bootstrap divides all mobile screens or page view into a 12 grid system, and then by adding your components one after the other, they are able to detect the screen size where it's currently rendering and just resize that particular box. They keep everything inside a box, and then they just resize it by detecting the screen they are rendering it on and resize the stuff down, so it resizes it to a mobile screen of maybe 480p, right? 480 pixels or MP or stuff, pixels rather, and should just take something like maybe a 4 grid system compared to a 640 pixels one, right? That might take 6, and just like that they keep on increasing it, and depending on how big it is. So they just removed that overlapping stuff, and everything is just in a container, and it works very well, and you don't need to have to bother about those how to make your stuff within a particular stuff, so yeah, that's what I just wanted to explain to you. And there's particular way they denote it, they denote it by this thing here. I don't really know how to do this now, because okay, I don't know. I should just write them one by one for you, because okay, let me show you something here, right? Because that's BG now. There are other screen sizes. Okay, let's just see. Navbars require a wrapping .navbar, right? With .navbar expand, and this SM means small screen, MD means medium screen, LG means large screens, and XL means extra large screen, mainly for PCs, or TV, right? You can render some of these web pages on TV, and large screen is more like powered right, and also some PCs. Then medium screen for mobile devices, right? Then small screen also for mobile devices, and some other stuff, right? So depending on what is specified here, you just telling it how you want your navbar to take up the size of a screen and stuff. But let's just get into keeping a navbar and see what it looks like. And I want something not like white like that. That one was just white, and I didn't want something just white like that. So okay, you see the second navbar, right? It's empty, and no one cares about that. Can't keep on empty stuff. Then this one just says Bootstrap. Mainly some website keep their logo and the name for their website on the left hand side, and the remaining part of this side, right, just takes links, so they're just trying to give you different format on how you can actually build your website. You see all this code, if you don't really understand what they do, that's just the issue. When you don't understand the stuffs, you just find out that you're accumulating a lot of code without even knowing what they are. Then when you need to tweak something up, you find an error somewhere, and your stuff is misbehaving or stuff. You can't even find out what to do and just fix it up. That's why it's most time just good to understand this thing now. So this is just a typical navbar expand, large screens, navbar light, background light, so I don't think I can change this, but what it just means here is you can keep background dark, then this background thing is going to change. You also just get the picture, more like when you understand HTML and CSS very well. You just find that they are using some particular predefined template to define, right, predefined to denote or define what these CSS are actually doing. And this one just more like background light, so it could be background dark, and then this thing should change. And navbar expand small screen, you can see navbar toggle icon. Toggle, I don't know where the toggle is. There should be a drop down something, span, and so you see all these things here, they are just predefined templates, and when you get to understand it more, you should know exactly how to use it. But we'll just be taking out a navbar now. I might just go to another page to take something more fancy. So yeah, right, let's just look for some of those navigation bars that are actually fancy, fine, and everything beautiful and stuff. So turns out that um, there's something you should just make note of. There's something called Bootstrap, then there's something called MD Bootstrap. The difference between these two is just okay, yeah, on a simple word, a version of Bootstrap that inspired the material designs, so have beautiful hundreds of beautiful components and templates, animation, effect and stuff, so yeah, because when I was looking at this navigation stuff, then they don't look anything good. No one keep this, right? No one keep this. They're just more like, this is just more like the base. They're just trying to teach you how this stuff actually looks like. But once I come to this part here, it says mdbootstrap.com. Then this one says getbootstrap.com. So when we go to this, our mdbootstrap.com, you see something new, and these are just navigation bars, right? And they look extremely good. So this is just a drop down. Wow, you can see it's actually highlighting that blue stuff, and the thing is just you can do all these things with CSS, and you just save a lot of time when you do it with Bootstrap. And not just that, you just need to make sure also that when you're doing it with Bootstrap, you understand the code and what you can add to it to change it. Yeah, you might just not want this, because another thing is that a lot of websites are saturated with Bootstrap. It's so easy, and anybody can actually just spend a few weeks learning Bootstrap, then actually just implement it in their website, and so almost all websites have Bootstrap. It just look the same. You should see this blue stuff here somewhere else, and well, you don't really want that for yourself, so you should just know how to change those stuff. And if we're going down, you can just see a lot of other stuff. This is another header type, right? Then this is the blue one, the green one, right? It's different type, just so okay, that's for the logo plus the name of the site by the side of the nav bar. A lot of people keep that. And this also, this username, no one does that. So main button and stuff, and just keep looking for the ones maybe just take, you see that on Pro, right? Pro components, and because they come with a lot more functionality, right? So which one should we get? Oh, this one looks good, right? Okay, yeah, maybe we should just get that red one. So it's the first one, and oh, this is weird. So yeah, I'm just trying to keep it here, right? Wow. So well, don't know that one is pro, right? Pro you need to pay some premium, I guess, in money for that. So let's just take one that is normal, right? Just take one that is on the board. And look at this, actually affecting my code here. You saw that, right? It's affecting my code because some of those Bootstrap components are getting in the way, and you just need to make sure anything you're doing is different and having full control of what you're doing when you're using Bootstrap. So I won't take a Pro, I'll just take that blue one you saw. That was also okay. So are you kidding? Okay, so this one consult this is okay. I can just copy that code and keep it right in CodePen. Okay, so I just added the code, right? The nav barcode, and it isn't showing. It should show here, but it's not. That's weird, but it should have something to do with one of these code, because that's just the thing about it. You can just take a few times, but there should be no problems. I know what I should just do. I can just go and take the one I use on my source code, right? My website source code. I can just take that, and it works well for me. One of these codes should be wrong. Maybe I didn't implement it well, or it isn't the right library or version or something. But I can just go here, and this is just my GitHub, So I just have it on my GitHub, and I use it a few times just to do stuff. So here we have link, right? Maxcdn bootstrap .com, font awesome and stuff. So what you should just know that the bootstrap we have here is right, not this Google AP. This is just the font style. So bootstrap is right. Let me just use that pen to show you this one and also this one. That's the two bootstrap we have here. This bootstrap CDN, this bootstrap CDN. So I'm just going to copy these two, right? I'm just going to copy these, right, and then go. So let's just do that. Well, turns out this guy is long. Okay. So that goes in the header, right? The head, not header. Just going to exchange it with this. Okay, so we got the head, then the tail, right? The tail. Okay, so the bootstrap also comes with jQuery JavaScript, right? So, and like I told you, they should be kept at the bottom of the page so they don't affect your load, right? Your page loading and stuff. So right here is this one is my custom JavaScript. This is the bootstrap, this is the bootstrap, then this is also the bootstrap. So I'm going to be taking three of them. So anyway, you just see this integrity stuff, that's the bootstrap. So I'm going to be copying those three, right? Okay. Yeah. So actually sure that you also keep that right to the bottom of the page, right? And also clean out this one. I didn't want to go. Okay, so like I hope it should just come up. I mean, let me just try and reload. Come up. So it takes a long while for you to learn bootstrap. It's not something you can just get within a few, you mainly have to practice it. And I mean, where is the nav? Okay, yeah, so I skipped out a lot of those parts and I finally got it to work. So I have some of those libraries were missing, and I'm just gonna be using this red nav bar, right, that I already had stored, so let's just fill in stuff. So that's just the point. Most times you just have a hard time just figuring out the library that you should just use, but you know what, I'm going to be keeping this thing, this page, maybe like a copy paste on your own account, so the this library down there, one, two, about three of them, and also up here we have the font awesome and the bootstrap main css. Trying to write your own code, you will use them when you're just trying to write your code, right? So now let's just get into it and see what all these things are doing for us, right? So the first one is the comments navbar. to say we are just starting our navbar, right? So maybe the best thing for us to do is just to change these values and see how they reflect in our code. So there's something called LG, large screen. There's also SM. Let's see what the guy does for us, right? So this is the best way for you to learn it. You just tweak them, tweak those values, and you get to see what's going to happen, and with that you just become very good at it. But the thing is, just don't just think it's going to take a few of those it take time a bit, and when you just keep on using it and using it and using it, you just master Bootstrap, and it doesn't want to load now. I mean, this scope thing guy, I didn't want to use Komodo because I didn't know how this stuff is going to respond on Komodo. I just thought, since I've used Bootstrap before, but then that should be working for me. Well, something is up. I can feel it. Something is just up. I don't know what's happening. I don't know if it's the server or something. Code has just been really bad. Because it's possible they've updated Bootstrap and some of this code is what the heck. Okay, so that shouldn't matter a lot, but I just changed that to MD. But let's just see what Bootstrap can actually do right. There's something I just want to show you. I really just want to do this, right? So naturally, when you are using you can see it just resize, right? It keeps resizing. You can check here and see the pixel. Now look at how good this is. So navbar, and it resized to a mobile view, and it works fine. You can see just resize. So but when you are using this for normal you're writing your normal code, you might have to just run a few extra code to just get this functionality for resizing the different view. So that's just how to use Bootstrap in total. But the best thing for you to understand is this code. So this navbar means create the navbar expand. It should expand the full width in a small screen, or as much as a big screen, or a large screen, because it was an LG, right? So A is just the normal anchor tag. There's no difference about that. A class navbar brand. Navbar brand means this thing here. Add a navbar brand and call it navbar. So let's just change this and call it something else, right? So it means, like I told you, this hashtag goes nowhere, and now it's on something else because I changed that to something else. So this navbar is a predefined template for adding a brand name on the side, on the left side of the navbar, like I told you. So that navbar brand class, navbar brand, means add that in. So I'm not the one defining it on my CSS. Like I should have done something like margin left or margin right to keep it at this side, or float. You use float to put something on the side of the left or right. But just because it is calling that navbar brand and class, I don't need to do all those. That's just the main use of this Bootstrap. I don't need to do all those. I just need to change it to my website's name, and it should work as great. So moving on, we have this button class navbar toggler, right? And type button, data toggler collapse. I guess that should be working on this drop down here. So button toggler means toggle this thing on and off, right? Toggle it on and off. So collapse means when I tap it on, take it away, when I tap it, bring it out, you know. So that's what that stuff is doing for now, but we are not adding anything. It's more like calling in the buttons, you know. So it's not everything you really need to know, more like adding your fixed your custom CSS. That's the main part of actually Bootstrap. So here we have toggle navigation, right? This one is just still part of that button class, you know. You can see here it's part of the button class, you know. So now we have span class navbar toggler icon. Now the icon you want it to actually display, by default it has this arrow down, so I can put a font awesome. What a font awesome means is that a font awesome is actually a library, or not really a library, a set of icons that you just need to import into your code, and you get different type of stuff. You can get hamburger is just something like a 3-line, you know. Most people use it for their navbar, and you can just get hamburger to draw something. You can get different type of thing with font awesome. This is something like how an hamburger looks like, because it's one on top other, and when they tap that stuff, the navigation on this thing should be, but they decided to use this as a default. And so inside that span class, right, that turns out that I can put something from font awesome to override this. But to really see how it works, let's just keep new and see where that actually displays. It should be somewhere there, you know. So just trying to understand Bootstrap, but if it's coming too fast, there's no need for you to worry about it. The more you use it is the more you actually understand it, you know. So well, I should have gotten new, but well, that's just what this class is all about. It's just defining the toggle type, you know. So collapsible content is collapse navbar collapse, you know. Just this what they're trying to define, but don't get overwhelmed by all this code. It's more like they're just defining the content. That's what you get from using Bootstrap. It comes with a lot of code that you don't actually understand. It's just a few of them that you can actually tweak to your own desired custom CSS, you know. So UL, right? UL means if you're trying to enclose all your navigation link, you can use UL. UL means just class navbar nav, right, Mr. or MR auto, you know. Don't need to bother about that. Then the LI, right, is class nav item active. What this does is it means that make all these links active, meaning the user is able to access them. There's also a different value which is called disabled. When you keep it as nav item under link disabled, right, the class becomes nav item disabled. It means even if they click that, the link shouldn't be working. It should just be there, but it should not have any redirect, you know. So the first link is home, right, and it's nav link, you know. So href is defined as hashtag, like I told you, right. So meaning just reload this page for us, and this is our home page, and yeah. So span class SR only, you don't need to bother about this. But what this is just trying to say is that this under this home link, right, that's the current link, and it should always be black or something like that. But it's just trying to say that this is the current link, you know, because it's the index.html and is our root folder or something. So the second link is also nav item, and it is on features, right. So I can go on and start adding my href to what I want, but everything now is just kept on hashtag, so they don't go anywhere for now. But I can go on and start adding features.html to take them to the features page. So the third one is the pricing, and you just see how that goes on, right. Then this is the drop down, like it's specified here, drop down, our guy here, you know. So we have the under the link, not just nav item now, it's actually under the nav item drop down link, you know. So or class rather. So Bootstrap comes with a lot of classes, and by just calling those classes, we're able to use the predefined template inside of those classes, So this one is under the nav item drop down class, and we have the links as nav link drop down toggle, meaning that this should toggle, and the ID is just this, but you don't need to really bother about this, because it's just some of those. I will soon tell you how to actually be changing them to your desired state, like I did here. I used some of this CSS to actually change the default of this, So you can see I did it nav back custom. So this is just, let me show you how I actually do that. When you look for nav back custom, you find out that I added something. This is called a custom CSS, in a nav back custom. I added it and made the color white, but that acted on only this drop down, and then the background color is also this, So then nav back color custom. Let's just try and maybe okay, yeah. So you see how this works, right? It was just a custom class I just predefined, or like just wrote down. It's more like background color that was red, with hex values, right? Hex values, that was red, and you can change it to blue, but that was only because I added this custom class. By default, I guess I removed a class which is called BG light. That one I showed you the last time, background light, and to just make this one a color that I didn't really like, so I decided to remove that class and keeping my own CSS, So that's what Bootstrap is all about. It's more like, if you want the class, you leave it there. If you don't want that class, you just remove it. So that was why we had that colorful color, right? Just had that same thing, and now it's empty because I just I commented out that styling, right? So when I did it, all this stuff vanished, and I brought it back, and here it is. So that's just really the basis of Bootstrap, a 12 grid system for writing code, and it's predefined templates that each are in a particular class and container, So by importing it into your code through integration of the link, you're pretty much integrating the library of Bootstrap directly into your HTML code or your web application, depending on what you want to use it for, right? And so these are just like the key takeaways, and knowing that by keeping your link, right, your custom CSS external link below your Bootstrap default CSS styling with predefined template and stuff, you can actually override some of this code by you can't just override it straightforwardly. You have to actually define your own class. This class here doesn't come with Bootstrap. I was the one that included it by saying dot navbar custom, because it's under the class. So the class uses dots. Then also tag name is denoted as tag name. Class name is denoted as dot class name. Then ID class, ID is denoted as hashtag ID name, right? So the three of them, the difference is in this. Tag name is used for all your tags, and they are used when you are actually generalizing. You might have up to 5 p tags on your page, and you want to use the styling for the 5 of them. So class name comes in when you want to use just to put about 2 of those p tags into a different class from the rest, and then just style it to your class name. Then ID name is used when for just one element. You use ID for just one element. When you get into JavaScript, right, like we'll be doing soon, we're almost ending HTML and CSS. I'm giving you well, pretty much everything, and all we just need is to actually be practicing, right, on those platforms with different properties, and Bootstrap, right? So this is just that when you get into JavaScript, you find out that you use ID a lot, and you can use it for only just one element. That's the difference between these three of them. You asked me that, and now I'm telling you that they're just used, can be used for one element in the whole page. Get 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 by ID name, get by ID name. So this into a bracket, and then you do your JavaScript, and that's how ID name is used. But directly in CSS HTML, you use class name and tag name a lot of the time. So by defining my own custom class name for CSS, I gave it a color, and I also changed this text to white. Right? FF into 6 places means white according to the hex values, right? And and I gave it these links meaning, right? I gave it black. So that is just how Bootstrap works. The main things for you to know is to understand some of these tags and what they do, the tags, and how you can actually change it. We'll be doing more of Bootstrap. I'll give you a video next time talking more of Bootstrap. Perhaps I'll just create a full good looking page, and just show you how to use Bootstrap to do that. And I'll be having some of this custom code on this side, but yeah, okay. We should just we also try and collaborate on some of those things, right? To just use them along the way. And also what you are doing on Code Pencil is pretty much good. So yeah, that's just about it for this video. We're looking at some of these Bootstrap stuff, but this is just a kind of introduction, extensive introduction to Bootstrap, how you can use Bootstrap. So I gave you the introduction, right? How to integrate it and the main component of Bootstrap. So yeah, that's it. I'll see you in the next video, right? So that's it for now.